or when the price movement in one candlestick completed. This is called a closing price. Here we have a weekly time frame candle. These simply different people that call them Hello, Elevation Trading Squad. Welcome back to another great episode with Elevation Trading Team. I'm super happy to be here representing Elevation Trading Team with a great topic. Such an important topic that each and every one of you has been waiting for. But before we start that, can someone guess what's the topic of today? Well, I can give you a hint. The topic of today is one important point, or I would say one important aspect that all the time traders are looking at it. The information that's available to you and me as a trader. And anytime we open a chart, the very first thing we see is that. Can you guess? No problem. Let's get started with today's episode. So today's episode is candlestick. Well, if you remember last week, we discussed market trend. Basically, how to identify market trend, how many types of trends are there, what is trend good for, why we are looking for trends, and all those sort of information. If you haven't checked it yet, I highly suggest you go ahead and check it. But in today's episode, we're going to talk about candlestick. So it's in continuation of Market 100 series that will eventually make you a great trader. Stay with us, trust the process, be patient. Okay, so what is candlestick? That's my question anytime we start talking about a subject. So look at this. Those are candlestick. But what is the concept of candlestick? When we're talking about candlestick, what do we mean? Well, a candlestick, it's a style of financial chart used to describe price movements of a security, derivative, or currency or index. Well, as you can see, a candlestick is a form of chart or a way of looking at a price movement. So anytime you see these candles, these either red or green, or we can definitely change those colors, any color. The up movement and down movement of the price is now very famous to be identified by candlestick. If you remember chart types, how many sort of charts we had, I believe you know what we're talking about. And candlestick is a form of charts, or I would say a style of looking at a price. The history go back to way long before, when one of the Japanese basically traders who was simply a rice trader, he was the one formed such a form of identifying the price movement. But then now we have it modern candlestick. So these candle movements are very important to look at. But in today's episode, we're not going to go deep into how we can identify these movements, but simply what are they, how many types of candles we have, how they are formed, and what each and every part of this candle means. We're going to talk about that. So now you know what's a candlestick. It's simply a style of chart that shows the price movement of a derivative or a security, or I would say a currency. It's usable in all aspects of markets. Okay, so now that you know what's a candlestick, do you know how many types of candlestick we have? Well, as you can guess, we have two types of candlesticks. It's either a bullish candle or a bearish candle. So simply, it's very, very easy, and it's very common between traders that we have simply two types of candlesticks. The ones who are green, or the ones which are basically showing a trend in the market, is usually bullish candle. But the ones which are red, mostly the very common color, they're considered as bearish market. Okay, so if we know how many candles we have, or how many types of candle we have, what is the meaning of having a bullish candlestick? Well, simply, a bullish candlestick is usually identified by price increase toward upside. And usually we color them green. So green means increase in color, usually when you're in a chart. But the color is not important. A bullish candlestick concept is that in a bullish candlestick, we usually look for price increase over time. And when they're shaping certain patterns, they're considered as trend. Again, if you haven't watched the previous video, go ahead and check it in our channel. Okay, so bullish candles are basically showing an increase in price. What about bearish candlesticks? Well, bearish candlesticks usually show a downward movement, simply a decline in price. So when we have red candles declining the price, and when we look at a price movement, we see a decrease in price. In that moment, the market is making simply bearish candlesticks. Is that clear? So now that we know what is a bear and bull candle, that I was always mentioning it in the videos, but our friends didn't know, some of them, what we're talking about. Now that's clear. So let's talk about the parts or the components that make a full candlestick. First, candlestick opening price. And what is that candlestick opening price? Well, candlestick opening price is usually the point where the price movement started. So for example, if we look at this example, but also I'm going to show you live examples in a chart on how they form, but for now, look at this. What kind of candle we have here? Obviously now you know we have a bullish candle. And how we know it's a bullish candle? Well, simply because we have an increase in price. And this will be easier to understand when you simply have price here. But for now, we're just talking about a candlestick. So this simply is the opening price. It's where the formation of the candle took place. Next, we have the candlestick closing price. Well, in previous slide, we talked about candlestick opening price. That is when the price formation took place. But what about the closing price? Well, the closing price is simply when the price movement stopped, or when the price movement in one candlestick completed. This is called a closing price. So what about this whole part, the green part? You can already guess. Well, candlestick body. This is called a candlestick body. A candlestick body is the solid movement of the price covered in a single candlestick. So, what else we have? What about these lines, I would say, that we usually look at the charts and we see that on a candle? Well, these simply, different people that call them different things, but you can call them either wick, you can call them shadow. They're all pretty much the same. So what is a candlestick wick? Well, a candlestick wick is usually an indication of the highest price movement. So as you can see, in this very particular candlestick, we have the opening price right here. Then we have the closing price. And then there were times that when the candle simply reached to that highest price. This was basically the highest point the candle price movement reached at that particular candle. Is that clear? Very simple. All right, so now that you know what is a candlestick, what are parts of the candlestick, now let's have a look at the complete conclusion of a full candlestick. So simply, as we talked, a full candlestick, or simply a price movement that we look at it in the form of candle, is usually starting this way. We have the opening price where the formation of the price movement took place. We have price movement all the way to the closing price, but we have two wicks in this candle. So simply, the upper wick or the upper shadow is the highest price that in the formation of this candle took place. So simply, price movement reached to this very high point. And also, we have a lower wick. So simply, the lower wick is an indication that this was the lowest that the price movement in this candle took place. So as you can see, now we have the opening price, closing price, we have the highest point, we have the lowest point, or simply the lowest price and highest price, and then we have a whole candle body. This is a very solid and clear candlestick. So simply, we're going to talk about different shapes and different movements in price action. But for this slide, I just wanted to keep it simple and simply talk about what is a candlestick and how it forms. In our upcoming video, I will talk about what are the differences between each candle, why some candles are smaller and why some candles are bigger, and also if we have 2 or 3 candles within different colors, what they mean and what is a good candlestick formation. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back. So as promised, I wanted to show you how the formation of a candlestick took place. Okay, so here we have a weekly time frame candle. A weekly candlestick chart. So each basically candle is an indication of 1 week price movement. Okay, so then let's go and have a look at the formation of a couple of candlesticks, and I'll simply show you how they form. Okay, you definitely take place and let me know what kind of candlestick is that in the comment below if you realized before we talking about. All right, so let's have a look at the formation of not this one. Let's wait for the other one. So even we can talk about this one. The opening price is around this area, then it continue down, as you can see, and it closed right there. So as you saw, the price movement started here. We have a very small wick here, if you can see that. We have a very small wick and around the price of 15,660. Okay, the opening price, what sort of candle is this? It's a bearish candle because look, the opening price was around 15,600 and then it started to decline. It's showing a decline in price, and then eventually the closing price was around 14,433. Okay, now let's look at the formation of this very candle that's trying to shape itself. All right, let's see. Started here, moved up. Now it's moving toward downside. Still, a decline in price. What kind of candle is this? So far bearish. Let's see. Move up. And it closed. Like I told you, we're gonna talk about different shapes and candlestick in our upcoming videos. But for now, you know this is basically an indecision. So it started and ended in the same price, pretty much the same price. But the lowest it has moved was 13,704, and the highest the price movement within this candle was 14,649. Okay, let's look at this very candle that's forming. So as you saw, the opening price was around 14,422. Now it's a bullish candle. We have an increase in price toward upside. This is the lowest points it has reached so far, and this is the highest point it has reached so far. Let's wait and see the completion. Okay, more movements. Okay, now we have some decline. More decline. More decline. And closed. So, as you saw in this very candle, we had the opening price around 14,442. Then the price continues increasing until 15,274. Then it started decline and it closed within this price range. So as you can see, this is how the price movement of the candles, or I would say this is how the candlestick formation took place. Let's look at some more examples. Okay, boom, boom. Now we have decline, closed here, more decline, yeah. And this is how price movements take place. Look at this very beautiful candle. You have a very solid candle here. Price, opening price is around 13,349. Closing price is around 14,400. And then we have the lowest, or the lowest price it reached. The wick that it made simply was around 12,965. So as you can see, we have bearish candle, we have bullish candle, we have indecision candle. We will talk about those candles in our upcoming video. But whenever there is an increase in price, that's bullish candle. When there is decrease in price, that's bearish candle. Bearish, bullish candle, bullish candle, bearish candle. We have a very beautiful bullish candle, and then we have another bullish candle. I hope that's clear. And thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy, give us a thumbs up. Follow Elevation Trading in social media, as we're posting updates on the market every single day. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any updates.